Transit TV, welcome back to our Champions League studios. The first round of the round of 16 games concluded today with no team laying claims or being emphatic in any of the games. There's no emphatic win. All the matches still seem pretty much tight. Nobody has, made any serious claim to qualify into the next stage after the first round games. Well, looking at the four games for this week, Inter Milan went away to was at home to Atletico Madrid, winning 1-0. PSV played out a 1-1 draw with Dortmund at home, and Napoli at home today also played a 1-1 draw against Barcelona. And FC Porto, almost the last kick of the games, nicked a 1-0 win over Arsenal in a very highly tactical game. With my man Ugum today to look at run through these four games with particular emphasis on the dramatic end of the game at Portugal, where Arsenal narrowly lost out to FC Porto. Ugum, my brother, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Reggie. It's a pleasure to be on Transit TV again. Just want to encourage everyone, like we usually start the show with, please click on that like button, subscribe, and please share with your friends so we can get more people watching Transit TV.
Yes, brother, thank you I know you have a tight schedule, stopping by for us to look at these games. Like I said in the beginning, it's been a pretty much tight first leg of the round of 16 games, including the one that were played last week. No team has, had an emphatic win, no high score. Most of the games were draws, 1-0, probably 2-1 in the case of Copenhagen against City. This week, we continue the same vein, just two wins and two draws out of the four games, 1-0 win, both of them, the other two, 1-1 draw. Tells you how tight and how evenly matched most of these teams are. We're starting with Inter Milan, winning almost the same way Porto won today, nicking a 1-0 win, I think 10 minutes to the end of that game. For me, it was a kind of, Inter Milan had chances though. They were supposed to win that game convincingly, but somehow they missed their chances. Anatovic being the most culprit. Atletico Madrid, we always know they usually be a very defensive team and try to hit teams on the counter. But in this game, or recently, they tried to play football, a little bit more adventurous in their approach, which in this game, you couldn't say they were defensive, neither would you say they were expansive, but somehow they just were in between and couldn't really have a foothold on the game. Inter Milan kind of ran the show all day, but luckily for them, they were able to nick the 1-0 lead around the 88th minute through Anatovic. And all of a sudden, Atletico Madrid tried to come out, created a few dangerous situations against Inter Milan, but couldn't convert. And that meant that Inter Milan will be traveling to Atletico to Spain next couple of weeks with a 1-goal lead. Did you look at that game? What did you make out of it?
I looked at it sparingly. I didn't watch it in full detail, but yes, it was a strong, and as he would always get with Atletico Madrid, it was a tactical game. Inter Milan is also like that. They are very pragmatic in their approach. They have guys that can hurt you on the counter, but they can also play good possession football. So it was quite a good match of two of the clubs that over the last 10 years have contested for trophies in Europe and in their local leagues. So yeah, that's what it turned out to be. Inter were lucky to go ahead and get that home advantage. And I think that the second leg is going to be a cracking one. It's also going to be highly tactical again. It's going to be who is able to execute and take their chances in the second leg.
Yes, I think I agree with you. Inter Milan, for me, has been one of my favorite teams in Europe this season. They've really been playing some very exciting football, using expansively all the length and breadth of the pitch, entertaining, scoring goals and winning games. it was only going to be a tight one against Atletico Madrid. They did a pretty good job against Atletico Madrid as well. Created chances, like I said, missed a lot of them, and we hope to see. We look, we wait to see what's going to be the outcome in Spain. The only funny thing there for me is Atletico Madrid have only lost, I think, with just one game at home this season. They pretty much are very strong at home, and they really come out all guns blazing with their home games. This one is not a wrap yet for Inter Milan. If the quality they have shown all through the season, they go with it in Spain, they probably will go through, but I will give it a 60-40, if not a 50-50 between the two of them, because Atletico Madrid, like I said, has been very strong at home. They didn't have Morata in this first leg. He will be back by the second leg, and he's been a very formidable, formed a very potent partnership with Griezmann up front for Atletico Madrid. So this fixture for me is not done yet, and I don't know, who do you think Inter will regret the chances they missed, and who do you think will go through in this one?
I think Atletico will go through in the second leg. I think that Inter are a very strong side, but at home, Atletico does have a way of stepping up, at the highest point. I think Inter may have lost their opportunity to really drive that victory home with the chances that they missed in the first leg. I tip Atletico to win that second leg and qualify.
Yes, we move to PSV at home against Dortmund. Another tight game, 50-50 in terms of before the game. Nobody could really call this one, though Dortmund slightly have an edge, but PSV has been a very tricky fixture for most teams in Europe. And that they proved, though Dortmund took a lead in this one, 24th minute, a deflection for Daniel, and PSV equalized in the 56th minute through De Jong. And again, nothing much could really separate the two teams. It was just it was end to end, pretty much even from what I saw in that game. I don't know. Do you have any? What's your thoughts?
It's the same with me. I thought it was an evenly matched game. I expected Dortmund to do a bit better than they did. Yes, I know PSV Eindhoven are a solid side. One of the best sides in Holland from year to year. But Dortmund, with the squad that they have and the pedigree that they have, I expected them to do much better than they did. With the likes of Daniel Malen, this other German striker, Bland, and the rest of them, the options that they have both in midfield, forward, and in defense, I expected them to do better than they did at Holland, at Eindhoven. But having said that, I expect them to turn up in the second leg. I think they will qualify.
Well, so having said that, what do you think Dortmund needs to do to win this game, and what must PSV do to go through? Because they were one goal down and managed to equalize, so traveling to Germany with a 1-1 draw.
Dortmund, I would say they need to get into that second leg with a mindset of taking their chances and being efficient. Dortmund always strikes me most of the time as a team that just kind of plays to the gallery more than going straight for results. I don't know whether it's in their DNA. They tend to appear like an unserious team to me. With all the talent they have, and they generally they always have good coaches. It's just for them to be a bit more direct. A bit more direct, a bit more efficient, a bit more aggressive in their body language towards achieving what they want to achieve. They tend to look really complacent to me. So I think that may be their undoing. If in the second leg they don't step up and really be positive and direct, with the options they have in attack, if they are direct, they will score goals and they'll beat PSV. On the other hand, PSV would need to use the counter attack. I think that Dortmund are generally really vulnerable to counter attacks. And PSV have the tools to make that work. So if they can probably, I would say maybe draw someone like the Young. The Young doesn't have pace, but he's very useful on set pieces. If they can find faster, use Bakayoko, use some of these their faster forwards on the counter attack, they can really hurt Dortmund.
Yes, I was going to say that Dortmund, for me, if they want to go through in this fixture, they need to stamp some authority in the game as early as possible. They sometimes, like you said, they look like a Desico. They just play almost like this. The result is already written. There's no point making effort. With players like United Sancho, having that body language. There was one, I saw one instance in the game at the very crucial period of that match. He misplaced a pass, and there wasn't no desire to win the ball back. And this is kind of a story of Dortmund. Sometimes they kind of play
Yes,
like the
yes,
game is already decided, regardless of what we do.
yes.
So they need to put some. I don't know if this can be changed in 2 weeks. So it's a little bit tricky one for them. And PSG is a very tricky team in Europe, like you said. I remember Arsenal playing them. It wasn't. It wasn't a very interesting game to watch. So in Dortmund, if they want to go through, they need to get serious. They need to be serious about this feature. Otherwise, PSV will hurt them and really hurt them bad. So I think I agree with you completely on this one. PSV, on the other hand, should just do what they normally do. They come to games as underdogs, but they approach games like lions. They stick to their game plan. They are aggressive. They are in your face. They try to force the issue. And I think if they come with that mentality, because at the end of the day, this is the second leg. Either you're in or you're out. There's nothing to stay home for. So you go there, you have to force the results. And I believe in this one, like you said, it's 50-50 for me. I don't even know who to call this one for. Let me go with you first. Who do you think will go through in this one?
I think that Dortmund will go through, but only if they go for it. If they don't go for it, they'll get it.
I'll go with PSV, because sometimes I wonder how Ruse is still a very important figure for Dortmund in their midfield at his age. Sometimes they kind of, and he really, like what you were saying, he slows the pace of their game down anytime he's in the field. So I don't know if he will be playing in that fixture. I want to go the other way. Let me root for PSV in this one. We'll see how it goes. So that concludes the Tuesday games on the first leg of round of 16 games, the concluding games for the first round. Don't forget. So, our viewers, you've seen, we made our calls, given our thoughts. Who do you think will go through? Inter Milan traveling away with a 1-goal lead to Atletico Madrid in Spain for the second leg. Who do you think will go through in this one? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree with us that Atletico Madrid will go to a boom win for Atletico Madrid? But I think Inter Milan has an edge on this one. If they bring the kind of football they have been playing all season, in fact, since last season, I think they have what it takes to consolidate their lead and go through in this one. While Ugum thinks Dortmund will go through in the second game, PSV 1-1 at home with Dortmund. And I think PSV somehow, though they're not favorite in this one, will go through.